What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the World Class Smart Ass. I'm in the building on a Thursday night for another edition of Outlaw Radio. Excuse me as I adjust the nuts and bolts of this thing. We want to make sure everything's on the one so that you can hear it. But it is Outlaw Radio Deeper tonight. We're going to talk about why we decided to call the show Deeper. So hit like, hit share, hit follow. Share the live. Let people know what's going on in the conversation, because it is interactive radio, so to speak. So you should be able to be heard. Your opinion should be heard. So that's why I try to make it so that you can comment. Our YouTube page is up. We are actually simulcasting. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Everything is everything. We should be good. What's wrong with them?
It's not. Yeah, when you get inside.
Okay. So as we work out the kinks and whistles, man, it gives you time to let your friends know what's good, and to let them know the show is on the air and we are live.
Thank you.
I work it out.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, welcome to the show, man.
All that was talking too, man.
Oh yeah, man. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. It is what it is, right? Hey, subscribe to our YouTube page, man. It is the People's Network. The link is so long. I don't know why YouTube makes the links so complicated to kind of post, but it's the People's Network. I post it on my page, Kevin Barnes, on Facebook all the time. So you should be able to get the link. We need the support on YouTube. We actually appreciate the support we get on Facebook.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the people who got love for your boy, man. Mm-hmm. A lot of my family, showing love to the show. A lot of people appreciate what we do.
It's true.
If you don't know what we do is the People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. And this is just a platform for free Black people who speak freely, people who refuse to be inhibited by somebody else's truth. I'd rather tell my own than lie behind somebody else.
Oh, right.
So I know we got a lot of people who feel the same. So I hope you find, somebody on the panel you can identify with, because I'm more of a socio-political type of cat. My brother here is more of a militant Black man. My brother Kamar is known as the medicine man because he's about the holistic health, get the nature's natural herbs. And then my sister Key Minor, we didn't know she's a songbird. So I heard her blowing, and look, you got to be cold-blooded to sing Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine is my girl. If you mess that song up, you got to fight on your hands, right? You on there blowing. I'm like, this girl got a microphone and everything. So she represents for the sisters, man, and it's already a sword fight on the show sometimes. So we try to get it so that it ain't too much testosterone in the room. Y'all give me a second. It is Outlaw Radio. It's Deeper. Holler at Mr. Terry down at 3041 North, Dante Chestnut at DMG ENT. Let me adjust this YouTube camera. Go ahead, Jason.
Yes, sir. Dante Chestnut, man, DMG Entertainment, man. We can't forget about Brother Tef, man, at Sound Silhouette. You know what I'm saying? All the people that's down, man. We get a lot of love, man, and it's growing. Get in on the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? You can say you remember when. You know what I'm saying? You was down, right? So this is real, and if you can just project,
as my man
success.
Say, get in on the bottom floor, right? Don't wait until the elevator go all the way up, man.
Because there might not be no room.
Right, and we don't want to take up too much of your time. Shout out to everybody who checked out me and Brother Kamar last night on the Warrior Report. Beautiful show. We got it in.
Yes.
Called Outside Looking In. But my system crashed. So people was hitting me.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Kev, what's up, man? What's up?
I was mad at my phone.
Yeah. 36 minutes into the show.
36 minutes in and it crashed. Right. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I don't operate from iHeart Studios, right? This is a small operation. So sometimes my internet, I guess I don't have the best of internet.
It's McDowell's.
Right. Well, I tell you what, donate to the show.
Hey.
And we'll upgrade our equipment so we'll never have drops. So we'll have beautiful camera angles so you can behold all of our aesthetic values. But until then, we're going to have to work with what we got, baby. And sometimes it crashes. So, hey, keep supporting the show, man. Keep supporting the show.
Yeah.
My man, he said, I can't even say that name. Much love from the tribe. Brother Kamar, you better with those names. I can't say the name.
Where?
Quinn Patai, Sion Butler.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay. Quinn Patai, Sion Butler. I see you out there. Make sure y'all chime in.
Much love from the tribe.
Yes. So,
peace, brother.
There is a $25,000 reward out for anybody who knows information regarding the murder of the sister Quantia Jackson, or Quanita. It's Quantia. I don't know her personally, so I see people saying Tia and this and that. I don't feel like I know her that well. Condolences to the family.
Condolences.
I don't encourage snitching, but if you know something about somebody who has something to do with this young sister getting killed, she was actually active in the community, which I always applaud, especially as a young person. So if you got inside information about that, man, hey, do it on the low, man. Go get you some shoes, right? Like, 25 stacks is 25 stacks, right?
I said we love black people who love black people.
Right.
You know
That's
what
right.
I'm saying?
That's right.
So
That's
people that's out there killing ours, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they don't get a pass.
No doubt, right? We say they ain't us, right?
They ain't us.
That could have been your sister or your baby or your mother or your auntie, or it goes on and on.
Was she an innocent bystander?
I don't even know the details. I haven't even seen any details about what happened.
Trying to break it up or something.
To my understanding,
I have no clue what happened.
Somebody told me that, and I'm not trying to spread rumors at all.
Well, you're saying that you speculating.
Yeah. Someone told me that she was at a park or something like that, and two cars were shooting at each other, and she caught the crossfire in the head. And they said the day before that she had just passed out some awards.
She was doing a 3-on-3 basketball tournament or something of that
she
nature.
just gave some awards out to people the day before.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Anybody who knows the details, get in the chat room. Let us know what we missing.
Or, holler at me. And then, I can get that 25 G's. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to shoot me an inbox and
tell us what's happening.
Yeah,
we a snitch.
Oh, we'll have a beautiful ass set the next week.
Tell me what happened. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be looking like CNN up in this
place. Hey, and like in our community, we got this thing about snitching. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I really believe, man, in some of these situations, our community need to step up and talk about what's happening, man. You know what I mean? She ain't had shit to do with shit. If these brothers ain't gonna come and say it, 'cause like, was she somebody's mother? If she wasn't, she was somebody's sister. She was somebody's auntie. She was somebody's daughter. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now we all have one of those.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now she's an innocent bystander. She ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. Them brothers need to be stepping up and talking about what's happening, who's into the shit, because it's y'all fault first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now if somebody else got some information on it, man, you know what I mean? Y'all really need to go holler and put the word out about that. It ain't, and it shouldn't even be about the money.
When we talk about protecting,
it's always about the money.
And somebody is doing something to our own, they ain't us.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they got black skin, you know what I mean? So, come on, man.
Right,
we got to draw some lines in the sand.
Yeah, you niggas got to go.
Okay, thank you.
Well said.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Miss Serena Brown with the Post Healthy Group.
Shout out.
She got a seminar coming up. You can find all of the information regarding the seminar in the People's News Network, which is my Facebook group.
Get on that.
Which is a beautiful group.
The People's Network.
The People's News Network.
Yes, join the group. That's how you're gonna get right away. You're gonna know when we on air. You're gonna get all the information about the black community. You know, you're gonna learn how you may even learn a way to help somebody in one of these situations that we talk about, because we go from political all the way down to the community, even to the personal health. You know what I'm saying? So we getting it in. You know what I mean? You may find a way where you can step in and do your part of the revolution.
And it's all about each one teach one. I'm sorry, my sister. It's all about each one teach one. So you might know something I don't know. I might know something you don't know. We hook up. We get it together. We put it together. Teamwork make the dream work. We gotta have it all come together like butt cheeks. So, get whatever group you support, man. Join those Facebook groups if you are like mine. You know what I'm saying? But mine is the People's News Network, and it's pertinent and it's official like a referee whistle, man.
Very, very.
So get with it. You gonna say something, my sister?
I was just gonna say, make sure I'm tagged.
Okay, well, I can add you. I can add. You mean this show or?
I'm talking about right now. So
you're tagged. You tagged in the show.
Right. That's probably why you can't.
We're all tagged in the show. We're all tagged in the show.
Aaron Brown, what up, homie?
What's up, my people?
Yes.
Be watching.
And shout out to, you know what? I want to say this again because I think it's very important. Appreciate the support y'all giving us, man. I mean, this is a labor of love, but it's damn sure a labor. And if you watching and you say, well, I could do that, then give it a try, and we'll see. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm damn sure not saying you can't. So, I mean, but
we'll be in your chat room.
It's all about controlling the narrative, though, man. We got to stop letting them speak for us. We got to stop letting them tell us how we should think, where we should go, what we should eat, what we should do, how we should feel. Those days are over, right? And when I said Outlaw Radio Deeper, I called it that because I think right now it's time for a deeper understanding of what's going on in this country with people of color, right? And our perception and the way we are perceived. So we have to create platforms like this And that's why we need the support of black businesses, and we need to support those black businesses. Shout out to the Sherman Phoenix. I had never been in there. It's beautiful in there. And you know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna tell all our business, but we're gonna represent that Sherman Phoenix. So you know, shout out to the Sherman Phoenix, man.
Represent it well too.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. But yeah, deeper, man. And I know y'all want me to get it started. Like, okay, Cam, enough with the pleasantries. Let's talk shit, right? Okay, so let's do that. Right, we're gonna talk a little shit, swallow a little spit tonight for about an hour and a half, long as the machine runs. Or unless We Energy step in and remind me of who's in charge, right? But I paid them hush money this month.
Literally.
So we should be good. Right. Charge. Who's in charge of the electrical charge? Yeah. But yeah, man, deeper, man. Deeper. What is your level of understanding about anything? You think about that. You think about your job, right? A lot of times you hate your job. Your job is ho-hum. It's just like you're doing the same thing over and over. But do you have a deep understanding of what you're doing? Because when you get a deeper understanding of something, you think of a better way to do it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get a deeper understanding about what it is to be black, you're going to be better at being black. Mm-hmm. You're going to be a better black person for it. And that all starts with acceptance, which my brother and I discussed last night to great lengths. It's time for black people to understand everything you've been told is a lie. You have to be reborn. You have to re-educate yourself. You got to repurpose your knowledge and repurpose your purpose.
What did it say? Deprogram to reprogram?
Yeah. So accept that. Once we get over that, and you know,
you've been bamboozled.
And right, and if you didn't watch the show last night, my brother, he can tell you, man. It was very poignant that we pointed out that it's very hard for some people to accept the fact that, by and large, white people don't like us. Like, just say it to yourself. You know, it's just like, accept it. They don't like us.
They hate you.
So you wonder why they do certain things.
Some don't even know they.
She said they like her.
They like me.
I bet you they do. Right. Depending on where you standing at, right?
That's a whole show.
Yeah.
That's a
whole show. Let me tell y'all something. First and foremost, when you introduced everybody in their delivery of whatever message that they're or angle they're coming from, you never mentioned the fact that I'm a law of attraction to claim anything that's gonna stop my money flow.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So I work with a diversity of I've been working around a lot of white people. I love white people.
Ooh, well spoken. I'm gonna tell you like this. I work with a diverse group of people, but when I do work with and I've worked in situations where I was the only brother, right? My thing is this, even in that setting, they still don't like my black ass. What I gotta do is make sure that I'm the best at what I do, so that their hatred for me or their dislike or their racism or whatever they got, it doesn't affect my money flow. So it's one thing to work with them. That's kind of like code switching, ain't it? And I'm sure you meet some nice white people who be like, you're such a great bartender.
Can I tell you something though?
Go ahead.
Let me share something with you. So, like, I've been addicted to social media for a long time, right?
Okay.
And everybody always talking about, Key, you got a fan base and all of this and that, right?
Right.
My tire went out under the bridge on Brown Deer, and I was stuck on the side of the road. All of these fans, I go on Facebook and say, I'm stuck on the side of the road. Can somebody help me? When I looked up, it was a white guy with his whole wife in there.
Right.
Pulled over like he was goddamn Peter Parker.
Okay.
And he came and he helped me from the side of the road. I think that the way we perceive life is whatever we focus on is what we get out of what we focus on. So if you think that all white people hate you or whatever.
I didn't say all, but
I'm just saying.
Right. I didn't say all, but
well, if you think white people hate you, then you know
you're gonna meet most of the white people that
hate you.
You know, and last night when we talked about it, we did also mention, you know what I'm saying, when we speak like this, we ain't talking about all white people. We talking about white supremacy supporters.
The majority
of white people. You know what I'm saying? Those type of white people.
The majority
we talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
they think they the shit, but you know what I'm saying? Who ain't supposed to think they the shit though?
I'm not even speaking from that perspective.
Worrying about what they think.
I'm not speaking from that perspective because like my brother said, we made the point. And individually, as an individual, people out there, you may say, no, I know some very nice white people. I don't think it's a brother alive who can't say they ain't never met a nice white person, right? Or somebody white hasn't helped them, or they was cool with a white coworker. Yeah. But what I'm saying is the majority of them could give two shits about a black person. Now, it might be different for you too, my sister, because you are a woman. Me as a black man, I don't get that. I don't get that, hey, let me help you. I don't get that. Every now and then, there's some old, well, police will pull up like, hey, what's going on? I got a flat tire. You got a license? You got registration? Then my black ass is getting sweated. So if you've had that experience, speak from it. I'm not here to tell you you can't, right? I don't speak in absolutes. I got something I call a 100% rule, which means there's nothing that's 100% true. No way, shape, form, or fashion can you say every so-and-so does this or does that or does this. So I just wanted to make that clear. Right. But as a whole, black people in this country, we spend too much time trying to fix our relationship with them, trying to say, what can we do to get along with y'all? Please let us shop in your store. Please let us go to the schools you go to.
And then please let us live in your neighborhood. And then we be quick to shit on each other. So one of us do something wrong.
And then when they say no, we don't want you here, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh man, it's we have to get over the fact, historically and presently, in the country that we live in, white people, majority of them don't like you. Right. So you don't got to say, why is this like this? Why do we have the biggest income gaps in between blacks and whites median income? Why do we have the biggest income disparity?
Because we look to them for it when we can create our own shit. Go ahead.
Okay. Jason over here on meditate mode.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jay.
You got something to say.
Let me tell you. So I'm over here and I'm trying to be good, right?
Okay.
So, because I understand the power of attraction and the law of attraction and that whole thing too. So, what is the difference? Where is the line between speaking things into existence, which I get, and being able to speak truth? Because there's some things that's going on, that's happening in our community that they are saying is not happening, or they minimize, right? And so there is a certain voice that needs to be heard and say, hey, this is happening. And I don't necessarily think that that's focusing on the negative. There has to be some truth talk. And so really, at the end of the day, truth is in between the extremes. So it's great and it feels good, and these are good pheromones, and to be all in the love and all that. Everything is love, and I love everybody, and that's great. But that's not truth, right? Just like it's not truth that all white people hate you. There's not. The truth is somewhere in between. So let's just say, even if white people do like you and they come to your rescue and they offer you all type of great things, you have to be able to see how they treat your men. They have to be. You have to see how they look at your children, if they are your male children, your brothers, people that are out there, and to not say anything about that, to me, is just as much of a crime. When Martin Luther King said, "We won't remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." So I understand the law of attraction, but the truth is somewhere in between, and some shit you just got to speak on.
I mean, I can totally agree with you, but at the same time, I have to stand firm in what I believe, because the law of attraction is very real. Energy is real, and whatever you put out is what you get. However you view life is how you perceive life. That's what comes to you. Now, there are black people that are killing black people. There are black people that's not helping black people. It's a certain type of people in the world in all race. There's racist people. There's racism. There is good people. There are bad people. There's all different types of people in this world. At the end of the day, we still keep going to them for their permission to be accepted when we haven't even accepted ourselves. We sitting here trying to fight for justice when we can build our own. Black people are the most powerful beings on this earth. They don't even know how to utilize. They don't even know how to utilize their inner power. And that is where I step in as an individual, because I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else.
Absolutely.
Is how I give people my advice from my perspective on how to be healthier and how to attract positive things in their life. Right. I'm not going to Becky, Jenny, and all of them to ask them for a motherfucking thing, because at the end of the day, I am free. And that's just how I look at it.
Quiet is kept, you know what I'm saying? Our power is in our thoughts and our actions.
You know what? You got power and thoughts in your actions until you encounter some of this real harsh white privilege and stuff.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah, and we have some technical difficulties, y'all. So, hey, y'all just gonna ride with us. I had to restart the live.
But let me also say that you are absolutely right in what you say about the law of attraction, right? But that's just one law,
and you know, and
it's not the only law. There's the law of cause and effect, right? There's the law of masculinity and femininity. There's more than one universal law. So you can, while what you're saying is true, it's just part of a greater thing. And so it's not the law of attraction is not the only law. It's just one.
I think it's also about finding balance too.
And absolutely, that's
it's about finding balance in between.
So
you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to work these thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Because see, even when you have these bad thoughts, when you're thinking about who don't like you or whatever, you can change that. You know what I'm saying? Like I choose not to even think about somebody who don't like me, who I feel don't like me. So I could change that energy.
But you have to understand what the energy is before you change.
Exactly.
So again,
and let's please
have to identify.
Let's get this. Let's not get this because we talk about using certain words in context, right? Let's not get this who likes me and who doesn't confused. Because when I say they don't like us, then I mean there is institutionalized racism.
Mm-hmm.
There is systematic racism. There is a overt effort to down the black man and to destroy black people. There has been in this country but you know what? And that's a good question, and I'm gonna get to that. For a very long time, you can look at COINTELPRO, you can look at Jim Crowism, you can look at Reconstruction, you can look at the antebellum slavery, the transatlantic slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at all of these things. And it shows you that there's always been an agenda to somehow subjugate people of color. When people of color got into the United States of America, racism became a thing. I don't know if a lot of people know this. The United States basically created racism.
Absolutely.
They didn't necessarily create hatred amongst men or cruelty. When we talk about the way racism is perpetrated in this country, it's American made, which is why Malcolm said, violence is American. That was H. Rap Brown who said that. Is American is apple pie, right?
But I think we're leaving out a whole portion, a whole chapter, right? Because we can say we can do this and we can do everything by ourselves and we're capable of doing that. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, but there are times when you go back in history and we did that. We created a Black Wall Street. We did. And you know what they did? They bombed our cities, right? They killed. When you talk about lynching was lynching. We let them lynch us. Wait a minute. Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. We let just like we let slavery happen. We let it. They didn't kill us.
Sound like Kanye?
They didn't kill us.
A little bit. You a little Kanye.
They didn't offer up our children as alligator bait. Right? We just said, go ahead and take it. We let them do that. When we were letting them lynch us, no, it's not. No, it's not, because we still got people missing. What's happening to our Black women and children? It's not different. It's the same thing.
So as you can tell, when I said deeper, you see what you get with Outlaw Radio. And once again, what's beautiful about my panel is it's diverse and it represents different perspectives.
Yes.
And we don't always, it ain't always, hugs and kumbaya here.
It ain't always peachy.
It's always hugs and kumbaya for me.
Well, maybe
the truth is somewhere in the middle.
And maybe that's why we
love here, hate here. The truth.
Maybe that's why we brought a female up, because it was too. Right. Hey. Okay then. Hey, Jay, now you really finna go at you now.
Jason. That's my best friend.
Okay.
Listen, no pushback on
so
that.
Y'all, right, I bet you it ain't. Listen. Hot Girl Summer is coming to a close. It's gonna be September. Now I was forced to take a critical look at this. I didn't want to, but I was forced to do this. I had to really examine Megan Thee Stallion, right? First of all, I didn't understand the name because the stallion is a male horse.
Yes.
But then I thought about what the symbolism of it was. And then I said, as the hip-hop snob, because I'm, the Negro whisperer, but I'm also the hip-hop snob. Anybody want to have, a little hip-hop trivia for some money, come get with your boy. I guarantee you can't get with me.
Let me tell you.
We ain't doing it for charity.
Listen, real talk. Let's do that. That's a show, y'all.
Hey, come on with it. Come on with it.
Yeah. You can't be Googling shit.
The hot girl summer. And I'm asking this question because I kind of thought about it. I had to re-examine it because I said, well, here's women asserting themselves. And when I look at how they define it, right, as you know, living your best life and going all out and being all you can be as a woman and being strong and empowered. And I said, okay, but it sounds like the same old shit though, right? Like, so what the girls who champion this hot girl summer, their topic is all the same when they rap. And it's really, I can't be mad at them because I'm a Too Short fan. And for the last 30 years, black women have had to hear black men like become superstars. Too Short is famous for saying the word bitch.
Right.
Bitch. Right. That's Too Short is still making millions of dollars.
That's my favorite word.
So
bitch.
Right. So women have had to endure us talking on the songs about that, right? Suck this and suck that and suck. So I said, you know what? They putting it right. Right. Oh my, please. I'm an extreme Chad Butler fan. Right. Come on, if you don't know UGK, don't talk to me about rap, right? I'm UGK alumni all the way. So my thing is, for years they've had to listen to us because I say all women rap about the same thing, but they say, oh, y'all do too, though. We all say the same thing. So you got to kind of grin and bear it when you hear when you see the women go crazy. And yeah, if I want to twerk, I'm a twerk. If I want to wear a G-string, I'm gonna wear a G-string, and you still gonna respect me. And then it became, and I'm gonna use my femininity and what I really know you want as a weapon to get what I need. Now, you listen to, she started the song out by saying, hey, I'm at my bag, but I'm at his too. And that's why every time you see me, I got some new shoes. So money is an issue in the words of Scarface, right? And that's on no for shizzle, my nizzle. Y'all ain't never heard that face, right? That Guess Who's Back, right? When Kanye was still black, before he became a hugger him and Key became friends. No,
Kanye.
Right. Fuck you.
Yes, absolutely.
We like black people who what?
Love black people.
I love black people, but I love all people.
But you ain't Kanye for real either, though. So we was talking about Kanye.
Right. You and your Mac.
No, but I'm saying, so
yeah, don't put yourself in the
I wanted to ask.
I just want to be
starting with Key. I wanted to ask because she's the resident female and she represents the estrogen on the show, right? Did the hot girl summer accomplish what it was supposed to? Like, what do we take from the hot girl summer? What really happened with women, black women this summer? But it looked like the same shit to me. So can you tell me that?
To be honest,
you ain't up on it.
I'm 35 years old and I got a house full of goddamn kids. So at the end of the day, like, I feel like hot girl summer, that's some young chick shit. But I do see chicks my age that be talking about hot girl summer. I don't be knowing what the hell they be talking about. But, you know, I'm a woman of elegance and class. Ooh. You can be sexy as hell and still remain classy. I don't think that being a thot or being a hoe is...
But is it being a hoe, though?
It's not. I'm just being honest. I feel like that's what a lot of chicks be promoting. They promote a lot of fake shit.
Right, okay.
And it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to a goddess or a queen. A queen is somebody that don't have to do all that shit. When I go out, I don't have to do shit but sit and cross my fucking legs. Ooh. And guess what? All the chicks that come in there, listen, all the chicks that come in there with them fake asses, small waistlines, big titties, long weave, big ass fan
eyelashes. You make me want to go out.
Let me tell you something.
Let me get my damn shoe.
No, I'm just being honest.
No, I hear.
When I go out, I don't have to say nothing. The men flock to me.
Okay, that's what's up. And that's your law of attraction, natural pheromone kind of vibe that you throw off. That men are just
let me tell you something. That sound like some shit I'm forcing. I don't have to force my vibe. My vibe is natural.
That's what's up. And you know what? What I really actually love about this sister is that she started off by saying, I'm Key. And she looks down and she's like, well, I ain't got to do a goddamn thing. Every motherfucker in there wanted me. Come on in. Come on in. Brother, come on. What you tell?
I was going to say, you kind of quiet today.
Hey, man, I'm entertained.
Well, I'm saying,
are you not entertained? I'm entertained over here. I'm listening to these two, and then I'm watching you. I mean, but the hot girl summer. Really, I think it's just pretty much just a Facebook fad.
You think it's Facebook?
I think it's a Facebook fad.
She actually made a song with her and Nicki Minaj called
I think it's just a social media movement that it turned into. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, really, the girls out here doing the same shit. I think it really just gives them an excuse to go and act hoish or something.
But can I say something though? Let me just keep some shit real with y'all real quick.
Because I got
this is so real. This is so honest because it ain't got nothing to do with just females. You know, you got a link on social media. One of these dudes, baby, whoever the hell he is, who done had sex with 1,000 women and
Blueface,
whoever he is. But check this out though.
It's Blueface.
And I'm gonna be honest. I really can't help it. Now, if a person has been in a relationship with somebody, like say for instance, since high school, she's gonna break bad. He's gonna break bad. Everybody go through a whole phase. We talking about kids.
Okay.
We just gotta be honest. We're talking about young people who's going through their whole phases. Period.
I want y'all to stop disrespecting hoes, though.
I think that's basically I think basically that's what the hot girl summer thing is all about.
Well, see, let's not disrespect
hoes. You don't see no older women, no older mature women talking about hot girl summer. It may not be all the way mature.
Well, I mean, they're having fun with it. But I'm saying you disrespecting hoes because when you say whore, that indicates that she gets paid for. She's a professional.
She has a pimp.
Well, not necessarily, because it's some free agents. I'm saying if you're a whore, you actually receive compensation for it.
Right.
Don't get that misconstrued with a slut, because a slut does it for free.
Right.
So you say everybody got a hoe. No, everybody has a slut phase.
Right.
A hoe phase is real. Like I was a call girl.
Right.
Actually, this is what you do for a living.
People do go through whole phases. People do sleep around and try to figure out themselves.
Right.
A lot of us.
Was it free?
I mean, yeah, sometimes.
Then it's a slut. Don't just.
It was slut. I mean, it's men.
Just something I was gonna say. So then the men sluts. What's the difference?
That's what I'm saying. It's a man.
I think
because she calling you from upstairs. Like
no, that's not. That's A blast. That's only A blast.
I think
probably trying to find the show.
I think men can be sluts.
Well, they absolutely are.
I think live on the air, something still live.
But society, when you say sluts,
I'm with you on this. If you're gonna call a woman that, the man is the same.
Yeah.
Hold on, Blast.
And then they be trying. What trip me out?
Hold on, Blast.
What trips me out is when they be trying to act like a woman doing the same thing that they doing is just as bad when that's not true.
Now wait. Now when it is different, okay?
No.
Wait. So when you want to talk, let's talk about universal laws, right? And so let's talk about the universal law of masculinity and femininity. It's a real thing. So when you talk about that, the woman is the receiver, receiver, and the man is the giver, right? So it's one thing to give too many times, and it's a totally different thing to receive too many times.
You're still sewing ties. You're still becoming one. Soul tie. Yes, you're still becoming one with the person, no matter how many people that you lay up with.
Math is like this. If it's coming from here and it's going over here, it's going at some point or another. This is going to be low and this is going to be full. So it's not the same.
Okay, so check this out.
Fuck that.
I just want. I want to say this.
Fuck math. 2 and 2 is not 4, right?
It's an energy exchange.
I wanted to say this to anybody.
It's an energy exchange.
Do whatever you want to do. This is my rule. Just be safe about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because let me tell you something. If you out there listening, you say, "I hear what they saying," but I am a freak. I like to get it in, and some of that, and I like to do it with different people. Sometimes a couple different people. Now you don't have to be
right
within your own life. If you have enough discipline and enough, right, be there by yourself and shit, right. But I'm saying, because we gotta understand, we can't tell our people, this is how you be free, this is how you be a good person. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the social code, the code of behaviors that they sold us includes monogamy, right? When you talk about where we come from,
they don't do it.
When we talk about Africa, right? And everybody want to go back to the motherland, and we come from kings. You know what kings have?
More than one wife.
Concubines.
Hey, handmaidens.
So we're gonna go back. That's why I don't tell nobody how to live their life as long as they safe, right? So if you're gonna go out here and really just not even vet your candidates, because to me, if you got 7 bad chicks, and you do it with Offset, mama.
And you can support Offset. You know you can handle your business.
Hey,
do your thing.
You have to be able to see. That's what people be getting stuff like that.
Selling out said you nasty.
No.
He talking to me.
But you are.
I'm talking about freedom. Each one sticks.
I'm sorry, sister.
That's
Go ahead.
just like even with the Bible, how people want to take out certain shit and make it their own.
Okay, let's talk about the Bible.
Polygamy is basically a man that has multiple wives. That means he have to be able to take care of however many wives that he have, not just sleeping around with people.
Right, but in the Bible, a man had not only a wife, but he had handmaidens and he had concubines. So here's the thing, even when you talk about the word adultery, in the Bible, the word adultery is only applicable if the woman is married. If the man is married and he had that's not adultery in your Bible.
Right.
Check it out.
Who Bible?
In the King James Version of the Bible.
I don't have
No, she was
Which one you got?
No, she was saying she don't
NIV?
follow the Bible.
Oh, okay.
That's why she said who Bible.
She used it as a source of information. That's the only reason I brought it
So
back.
Jay, what do you get from Hot Girl Summer? Because I just spoke about it symbolically. Like we steered off and we digressed, right? Because you can have fun and shit on the show.
We please let's.
And if you want to have a threesome or something, I'm not gonna tell you.
Do it. Record it.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not gonna say who's nasty, right? Record it.
Record it
right here.
Yeah.
I said that it was symbolic. I felt like it was just women trying to reclaim some power. Keep in mind, we're coming off of this Me Too movement. We're coming off a situation where they said we were raised, all of a sudden, my generation, in a rape culture where the movies, the music, the attitude, because I was raised by old Southern men who dominated their households to the point where I even know some old brothers who told me one time, yeah, boy, if you want her to love you, you got to stand on her sometimes. And you know what that means if you from that community.
It was something we went through as a people.
Right, and he said she won't know sometimes she gonna try to cry for your attention.
You got to beat her, huh?
Right. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we know
it
that
happens.
this is
It's
wrong.
real shit. It happens.
We know that it's wrong. I don't endorse it or condone.
I know.
I'm just explaining. I'm just explaining. I'm just explaining the progression to this point. So we go through this and we get to the Me Too movement. And I always tell sisters, real black women, be careful how you align yourself with these white feminists.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
Because your man is not oppressing you.
I tell sisters that all the time. Don't be I'm a feminist.
Black man is not oppressing you.
You know what's crazy? Because I just learned about a feminist because I bought a necklace that said that until someone told me the true definition of what a feminist is. So
okay.
I just stay in my lane.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. So we get to this. It builds to a crescendo, and you get Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah.
And at first, the brother's like, "Whoa!" But it's twerking, so I'm here for the shit. Like,
right.
And if you look at Megan, now I'm hoping she's all woman, and this could be a very cruel trick because there was a social media post that said she was twerking and some balls fell out, but it wasn't.
Well, listen, you see what that did to Michelle Obama?
No, it actually was.
They had all kind of imprints.
Right,
Oh my God!
Stop.
They said she had balls, and they said her.
That's lying.
Listen, I live on this
She
shit.
called herself a stallion.
But
She said she was a stallion.
Well, I watched it. I'm here to tell you.
I don't want to see it. No.
They were
I don't want to see the ball.
It wasn't ball.
I don't want to see the ball.
It wasn't ball. I'm here to tell you. I watched. What was it? It was the back of her ass, the inner part of her ass.
Yeah, hemorrhoids that came out.
It was ass. Her ass so big.
What made you watch the video?
Because her voice is deep and she's tall. And I've been saying she calls herself the stallion. So I'm like, I don't want to get into her and then find out she's a transgender dude.
Would it make you a difference?
So boy, what you okay? I would like to leave your island.
Wait, so I got a question because I got a question. So we all agree that Richard Pryor is a comedic genius, right? So now do we like Richard Pryor less that we know him and Paul Mooney was bumping uglies, right?
Who said that?
No. But this is what I'm saying.
Now is he not funny?
Well, now let me explain the difference though. If she,
you don't want to believe
I thought it was Paul Mooney's security guard.
If she, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that too.
Was talking about him. I'm sorry.
But if Megan Thee Stallion, here's the difference, right? Richard Pryor, first of all, is another man. I never thought Richard was sexy or fine or cute or nothing. I thought he was one of the funniest comedians I've ever heard. With Megan, she has a visual aesthetic appeal. Part of the appeal is big booty freak, big booty girl. She twerking all the time. So brothers naturally is watching TV.
They sell big booties at Walmart now.
But I'm saying if she's a transgender man, I would like to know, right? So I watched the video, and I'm telling you, it's rear butt cheekage. It's not balls, right? So, and not that I was looking for the balls, but I did watch the video because I want to see what
any doubt, throw it out.
Right.
Hey, man.
Big old freak.
Everybody gotta ask the question.
Big old freak. What you say? Hey, I'm too old. I know I would never. Like, I wouldn't even throw my ball towards that.
It was funny,
but,
though.
You know what I'm saying? Hey. I'm watching the video.
Interesting choice of words. You wouldn't throw your ball towards that?
No. I couldn't bring myself to watch the video.
Right. Hey.
I don't want to see it happen.
Right.
And you know, I always feel like this. If I look at a woman and
you don't want to see the balls drop.
No, I don't want to see the balls. No. But you know what I mean? I got this thing like this though. If I see a woman and I feel like she might be a man, I don't want to look no more.
Okay.
If there's any doubt,
if I gotta question it,
roll it out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So my take, that was my kind of like my take. It was like my take on the hot girl summer because
that rumor I had to all the way come out.
Honestly, I'd rather. This is my thing.
Before I do my research, before I do my research. No pun. I didn't catch that.
I'd rather deal with a female. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather deal with a female that's honest and upfront about.
She'll tell you I'm a trans.
Her sexuality. No, I mean not even.
I'm a man, Kevin.
Of course, that goes out.
I appreciate you being honest. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying I'm talking about when it comes to a woman talking about sex and sexuality. I don't have a problem with a female saying, "Hey, I love sex, baby, and I like to get it in, and I like to get down in a mature way."
Of course.
I respect that in a woman to say, "Hey, we both grown up. We ain't gotta be talking about, you know, I'm gonna count to 10, you go hide, and let me see if I can find you and shit."
Right.
That's when you was 8 years old. So I respect a woman who in touch with herself enough to say, "No, you know, guess what? I like sex too." Right. But I don't respect it when a woman's like, "Yeah, baby, pull it out right now, suck it right here." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. Leave that boy alone."
Why?
Right?
Really?
Because I believe, because
you're
I
like,
believe,
ew, no, don't touch me there.
I believe if you're that easy,
I
believe if you're that easy, my chances of getting some kind of disease from you are
maybe
great.
she feel that way about
you and you only.
Well, we'll find
out.
Is
that not possible?
We'll find out. Because what I'm gonna do is exercise some pulse. Say, "Hold on, baby, not like that, not like right
you
here."
You got papers.
Let me
make it to you.
Let's figure this out.
Can we talk first?
A little bit, just a little bit.
No, wait. Is that how you?
What's your name?
Is that how you've always conducted yourself?
I was a complete savage when I was young.
So it's just a matter of when you meet somebody at what stage.
Hey, I'm just saying I respect the woman that's, you know,
meeting men like that is very rare because for some reason men always be trying to get you to their house for a massage.
Well, yeah, that's co-work.
Wait, do they give them or get them?
Hot girl summer.
They just want to ride down. They want to know if you smoke or drink.
Yeah,
like
hell yeah.
Those are very questions. Those are really important. Those are very important.
I'm trying to get to know you.
You want an intellectual conversation.
Thank you.
Well, is it intellect when you high? Or is it? I mean, these are different intellects, right?
Right. Outlaw Radio, deep. Right?
And that comes later.
Deep.
Yeah. And I apologize for the technical difficulties because we started out. We had a lot of people with us. I see a lot of people have kind of come back to us. I had to jump up and do my engineer thing.
He did.
It happens from time to time, and you know I'm working my way through it, man. And we're getting better and better, and the equipment is getting better. So. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. Listen, I want the men to know.
Share this shit, y'all. Share.
I want the men, but I want the brothers out there to tell me because you know there's a such thing as playing too much, right? There's not there a certain way. I think when you wait a minute, then when you get there, listen, it's just sex, right? Like it's not rocket science. You act like you going a rainbow with Skittles is gonna come shooting out in the air. We can talk for a minute, but pretty soon it's time to stop talking and shit. Like it's right. You know what I'm saying?
That's some people's foreplay is
you
can't handle this.
Hey, on the spiritual note, though, it is a little deeper.
All right, come on.
You know what I'm saying? It is a little deeper. It's an energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like if
sexy.
Yeah, if you fucking somebody who got a fucked up spirit, man, you know what I'm saying? It's finna rub off on you. you finna get some of that bullshit, that chaotic life that they live. You know what I'm saying?
So sex isn't just sex.
So
it is.
While we on this, and we talking about
if you think on a spiritual plane, yeah. But if you're thinking on a physical plane, you know what I mean? It's just sex.
It's all. I'm gonna tell you why it's just sex. Because even if you got a bad spirit, if you got a bad spirit and I hit and never talk to you again, I'm straight. I don't got to deal with your bad vibes. So if I go off into the night and you never see me again, if I keep calling you, trying to deal with you, then I start to get sucked into your world. So at the end of the day, it was just sex. We just boom, pow, I'm out. But you got to stick to the script and be disciplined about that, though. So that's just my take on it.
That's just me.
So no, because I'm a man. So stop that. So when we're dealing with is you comedic healer. Is it safe for me to call you that? You know what I'm saying? And someone who deals in the chakras and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me about the sex magic. Tell me about the sex rituals, right? Because surely
I can't tell you anything about the sex rituals because I'm still learning.
Okay.
But I do know that sex is very, very powerful. So no matter how many people you have sex, no matter how many people you have sex with, all of that energy sticks with you. It takes you have to detox that. You have to give your body enough time to get rid of it.
There is a such thing as sex magic.
I believe it.
Right.
Trust me.
I thought it was called Spanish fly.
Well, no, that's check it out. That's Viagra for women's, right? So tell me about it, brother. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Where's mine? Where do I go?
After the show. After the show. We're in the garage.
I'm just talking shit.
When we go unplugged.
I'm just talking shit.
These guys are outlaws.
Come on, brother.
Yeah, man, y'all about to make me lose my train.
No, I didn't want to.
But yeah, you know,
sex magic.
God is creation,
right? Right.
Now you start talking about sexual energy, sexual magic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you have sex, when a man and a woman have sex,
yeah, buddy,
you're creating the Trinity.
Yeah, man.
No, real talk, the real Trinity.
You dig what I'm saying? You're creating. The purpose is to create the Trinity: man, woman, and child.
That's the Trinity.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of understand it. I'm just saying that a little bit to say that sex is a little bit deeper than we really think it is. You know what I'm saying? God is creation. God is energy. God is creative energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when you're having sex, that's the ultimate goal, is to create. Okay. Like you can even create things other than just children from having sex if you're having sex with the right people. You dig what I'm saying? Like, no, I mean like as far as business.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? As far as generating cash flow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. I heard it. You know
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry. What you said, and I love this is what I'm saying. A very powerful panel, and this is what happens when powerful Black people come together and speak, because you get to understand each other's perspective. But I hear you about the spirituality, but I'm saying sometimes it's just sex, because my father used to tell me, you don't pay a prostitute for sex.
Pay her to go away.
You pay her to leave.
Yes.
So it was like, nah, it was in that instance. It wasn't nothing spiritual, wasn't no Shaka Zulu. It wasn't
no spirituality that he was aware of.
Hey, check it out. It wasn't there, but it's like I said, you know what I mean? It's like what I'm thinking on a spiritual plane. Right. And now what you're speaking on a plane right here. The physical plane. Sex, yeah. Exactly. It's just sex. That's all it is. We committing a physical act. We committing a physical act. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what all it is, if that's all you're perceiving it to be.
I don't want to speak on this myself. So I would at some point or another, I want to come back to y'all. Because there's some sex magic. There's a cause and an effect, right? Voodoo. Well, okay. Voodoo was our religion before we were Christian.
I think the magic. I think magic is the creative energy.
It is.
But I'm just saying. I want to. It's very specific. Again, there are rituals, things you can do, so on and so forth. And I would like. I don't want to just come as the authority, because I'm not. I'm still learning too. But at some point, I want us to talk about this again. So I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it again.
Yeah, man. Outlaw Radio Deeper. Let us know what y'all think. We have
deeper and deeper.
Difficulties in the beginning of the show. It seems like we kind of got over that hump. We're live on YouTube.
I don't really want.
We're live on Facebook.
Barry.
I got the whole crew. That was Boss when he was singing.
I like that.
Singing in his Barry White.
You know that's a white person. You know that was a white person.
The original song. You mean?
No, that's Barry White. The original Deeper.
Now I'm asking her. I
maybe
thought
you're
she
not
was
thinking
talking
the same song.
No, we weren't.
We thinking about it's an all rap song.
And that's the Boss is Black.
Boss,
She was
yeah,
a female
Boss was a
rapper from
female
Detroit.
rapper.
Well,
Nasty.
fine.
She was one of the first
Oh.
She
chicks.
wasn't
that
nasty though. Boss didn't even look like
you
the
know
one
what?
that
You
did
know
with.
what I was thinking?
She was a gangster.
I was thinking Choice. Choice.
Choice,
You remember?
yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Choice
mixed
is
them up.
nasty
My
as a
bad.
motherfucker.
She was
Wasn't
the
spiritual
she was the
either.
first broad I heard. Like
She gave it too short.
But she did Willie D and the Ghetto Boys, and she suffered the.
I was gonna say it in the end there.
Yes.
Went back and forth with Too Short for a while.
Yeah.
So I just want to say this, and then I want
Yes,
everybody
y'all.
to
Yes,
because
y'all.
my people come prepared, and everybody they want to spread their wings. But I do, like I noticed something very funny. I don't know what's going on with that. There's a group of people who were supposed to be a political action committee here in Milwaukee that wanted Lena Taylor to run for mayor, and they were saying that they were raising money and they're putting up her, and people are saying run, Lena, run. But then Urban Milwaukee did an interview in which Lena says, I don't even know who these people are.
And they raising money in her name.
And I don't think it's cool for them to do that, right?
It's not
Now,
cool.
the person behind this is Marcus C. Duke, who was over kids clubs, who actually received a BET award a couple years ago for his work in the community.
Yeah.
He was on the BET Awards. He got a BET award. And he was saying, me and him had a conversation this morning where I'm like, well, I don't really think she wants your support. And he said, it seems like she doesn't. They were considering this a boost, that they were trying to raise enough money to give her a seed to start a campaign to run for mayor. So the confusion is Lena's like, I don't even know who he is. And his thing was, I've been active in the community for 30 years. I've met her plenty of times. And for her to say she doesn't know me is kind of like, a diss. I want to say this. Lena's a friend of our show. Lena's been on my show many times.
I love you,
Lena. Lena Taylor. Lena came on the show when we were live from 3041.
Yeah. She came here.
She's come here twice for the show since we moved it down here.
Yeah.
So Lena is my girl. I just want to make sure if she's going to run for mayor, it's done correctly. Let's not have another broken Black people tried to do a campaign and it didn't go right. Let's do it right. So whoever that political action committee is, call her.
But wait, let me tell you, I had it on my list too. I want to talk about Lena. And my thing was, because when I seen what they came out and said, I seen a whole lot of opposition from Black people.
Right.
Right. And a couple of you in which I actually respect, right? And so what I want you to do is because I don't know, and I think that we all need to talk about the candidates more, because we got into a bad habit of voting for the party. And I don't believe in voting for the party, you vote for the candidate. And we need to understand who the candidates are and what they do other than the ones who spend the most money on their commercials. So I'm all with these conversations. So please, the ones who don't feel like Lena is a viable candidate for us as Black people, tell me why. Like I heard all of the opposition, but I didn't hear anybody making any points. Please tell me why, because at this point, as far as the people that I understand that may or may not be running for mayor, she would be my candidate. So
I can tell you why.
Please tell.
I can tell you why.
Tell me.
First of all, there's a very negative perception about Lena in the community, and some of this seed is planted by some people who are political opposition.
Well,
there's some questioning of mental, whether or not she has some real issues and the way health. The way she moves about. But see, for me, I'm Black and I'm from the Black community. Mm-hmm. So I've met passionate sisters who always are everywhere and trying to take care of everything and handling business and being a mother and working and doing this kind of stuff. Right. So I understand Lena's energy a little bit better. Yeah. She has this incident where she goes into the bank and she feels like this individual, she calls him like a house nigga.
Which we've all done. All done.
Well,
so on different levels.
Right. So in this case, the police the police just so happened to be standing there. Lena came on the show and talked about it. She came on this show, sat right here, and went in, because when she comes, she's Lena, right? And so there's a lot of
we had a good time.
Oh, no doubt.
We
had a great conversation.
Go back on YouTube to find the show, right?
And she's a lot more intelligent than they make her out to be. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So that's the perception of people saying, not her. It's people who may have had an encounter with her that they felt like, I didn't like how she encountered me or whatever. So, I ain't involved with both. Once again, we missed the point. The point is, if there's a Black person coming, remember, and I don't want Key to get offended, but remember when we were young, we had this saying, It's a fight. It's a fight with a nigga and a white. If the nigga don't win, we all jump in. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
We used to say that. Yeah. I think we got to get back to that, man. You know, I think we got to strike a blow as a fist. Because I don't hurt you as much poking you as I do punching you. So 5 fingers make a black fist. And I think if we got a black candidate in this race, period, because if you don't think Mayor Barrett should be replaced, something's wrong with you. And the problem is you got to have a viable candidate to replace him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I would say Lena right now looking like the best thing going.
And if your answer to my question is because she may have a mental health problem, I'm not for that because it's in their playbook.
And your mama crazy too, and I still deal with it.
Listen,
hey, look,
but they let her get this far.
They let her get this far.
Yeah, well, stop.
She's a state senator.
You know what I'm saying?
She's a lawyer.
So if your thing is mental health, come again. Like, give me something else. That ain't working.
Right. Okay. I just want to get that out there, man. What you got on your notepad?
Man, because you mentioned Tom Barrett, right? This dude been in office for how long?
15 years, I believe.
15 years, right? And I cannot believe black people he deserved that ass whooping, right? He deserved that ass whooping. Let me tell you, as much harm as he done put on black people, how many children he done poisoned with lead and shit, he deserved that ass whooping. It should have went longer. But here's the thing: since he been in office, we are the second poorest city in the nation.
Right.
I don't understand how black people can consider. What the fuck are you reading? I don't understand. He leads we in Milwaukee lead the nation in mass incarceration for black males. We're deemed the worst place to live for black folks, right? The black children tested the worst in the entire country. Most racially segregated city in the nation. 55% of black males are unemployed, 60% truancy for our students, 59% graduation rate for blacks. What the fuck are you doing voting for this man? Ask your pastor, why is he in our church? What are you getting for it? Like, I don't understand black people. For me, this is ignorance. Ignorance walking. If you are ready, considering voting for Tom Barrett, you don't love black people and you ain't us.
I don't think they voting, but
it's possible.
Right.
It's possible. But there's a cause and effect for that too, because there's a such thing called voter suppression. And that shit is very real. Right. And so while we want to get on black people for not voting, some of that shit is causing an effect, and us voting is sometimes just the effect because they doing some bullshit.
And I want to say to people again, I apologize because the initial live dropped. So I had to start the live over. I see a lot of people have come back and rejoined the show, which I appreciate. But there's some people who say, well, I can't find it. Well, I'm sharing it over and over. So just go to my timeline.
If you don't watch it now, watch it later. You know what I'm saying?
Always catch up with it, man. Always catch up with it.
Still leave your comments.
My brother, who is this? We got Kemar Blue Raymar. He said Lena for mayor.
All right.
Right.
Tell me why. Yeah.
Well, we got to support each other. Say that again.
His name is Keeman. I'm
sorry, brother. I can't see. I'm half old, half blind.
Hey, he don't want to wear
drunk
glasses
most of the time and shit. My life is hell, right? But this Outlaw Radio is deeper. We had it, right? But you can't wear them, right? Like you got to have real infinite knowledge of hip hop to wear them,
or just can't see.
Right. They ain't prescription though, buddy.
Well, anything else.
Yeah, boy, but no, the other controversy was. There was an accusation made by Richard Pryor's former bodyguard.
Yes.
In which he stated that Paul Mooney raped Richard Pryor's son as a child. And Richard Pryor was so upset behind it that he wanted to put $1 million up to have Paul Mooney killed. But then he ran into that freebase accident and right. So it wasn't really about that no more. But he said it totally fractured their relationship. Let me say this. Paul Mooney has been very vocal about issues that affect people of color and black people for a very long time.
Yes.
And he's been very harsh on white people and, this kind of thing. People kind of like he never could get to the mainstream. He's written a lot of classic comedy material.
And written behind the scenes for some classic comedy.
So, and a lot of brothers have always looked at Paul and said, some sugar in the tank, right? Like it was always a kind of with Paul, right?
This is your voice deep.
Hey, girl,
right?
You know what I mean? You funny as hell, girl.
This is your voice deep, nigga.
This your dream, girl.
But did you see the roast?
Well, I never seen Paul. I seen Richard Pryor from back in the day.
Right. Well, go watch that. Richard Pryor tells a lot of truth. He tells a lot of truth. Yeah. And at the time we like, ha ha.
Did you say they call him like a female name or something?
Well, he talks a lot. He talks about me and Paul. And we went in the room, and he was like, Paul's a stand-up guy. You know what he did? He sucked his dick. That's
right. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Richard Pryor roast is too.
And Richard got up too, like before you motherfuckers bust me out.
It's from the 70s.
Yeah,
it's so
and Rich was like at the time I fucked my first faggot. Like Rich
was a sausage smuggler too. But it's so old that these cats is like straight puffing Newports and shit. So you don't see nobody smoking on TV like that no more. But back in the days, you know,
it was cool.
You doing the show and the ladies.
Shit, it was some women smoking.
Right. She's like, I'm actually. So yeah. So I don't know if this happened, but we got this thing now with social media and all the opportunities that you have to really tell. So many, everybody's coming out telling something now. Now, my brother talked about the difference between snitching and really. Right. We talked about that, right? The differences between the two. And is this snitching because Rich is dead and dude is old and Paul's damn near dead? But like, dude,
how did Paul get damn near dead?
Paul been sick for a long time. He's old.
I didn't know. I know he's
old.
I
didn't know he was sick.
I didn't know he was sick.
You don't really see him like that.
This is true.
You don't really see him like that.
Okay. Touche.
Okay, if you just want to clear your conscience, that's fine. But I'm looking at it like you ain't really had to come out and say that. Like, you could have kept that one. Of course, there's some people who know about it. Richard's one of his ex-wives came out and said, like,
she told him.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there, talk about that.
That's good shit. That's good. Because I want to ask you, before you change subjects now, because we found that out about Rich. Does he make him not funny to you now?
You know what? A little bit it does.
Because what's the little hip hop dude that sang the country song? Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. Right.
I'm gonna tell you, for me, I was on board with it. Like, get your money, dog. And then he came on, and I was like, yeah.
Right. You wasn't riding on the Old Town Road?
No, I'm not fucking with you now.
It said the Old Town Road lead to Brokeback Mountain.
Well, yeah, you go ahead with that, right? So I'm saying, is the same thing with Rich? Like, is Rich not classic anymore because he's the first factor?
It doesn't make him less funny, but I look at him differently.
Well, his jokes is different now. Right. When you heard Luther Vandross, when you heard about it, like, ooh, wait a minute.
Heard Luther talking, like, well, I just wrote this song from the bottom of my heart. Like, oh,
it's a different song now.
Superstar don't mean the same thing no more. Don't you remember you told me you loved me? Who was he talking to?
No, he don't remember, motherfucker.
Talking to the pool.
I'm just saying. So I'm just asking, is Rich still funny, right? Is he the black community? For the black folks that love black folks, do we still love Rich?
Rich is still funny, but
do we still love him?
When I find out that you had a relationship with a transgender man and you knew he was a man and you still partook in his fruit, it does kind of change my perspective.
And for that matter, do we still like Paul Mooney, who allegedly is a molester?
Right now. Right, but you gonna take his career? He gonna be like, "Fuck y'all," and die.
Well, he been saying that's what his career was based on, saying "fuck you."
All of this is made irrelevant by the fact that Dave Chappelle just made probably the greatest stand-up comedy performance.
I didn't see it. I heard y'all talk about it last night.
Anybody seen it besides me? You ain't seen it? You ain't seen it? Oh my god!
Oh yeah, you gotta see it.
I heard you talk about it. Like
Y'all let me know out there what y'all thought about the Chappelle. The Chappelle. Number one is totally offensive. Yes, it is.
Well,
okay, come on.
He's funny anyway.
He's funny on the whole. I said last night he's the Tupac of comedy because he is, man. You've never heard it. You ain't never heard it. This dude is this special, and you got to be mature to get the jokes for a lot of it. You really got to be a person. It ain't for kids, right? You shouldn't be letting your kids watch that anyway. But there's some people going after Chappelle now. Of course, he knew the trans community was gonna come after him.
Well,
now they said he victim shamed. The Michael Jackson victims and all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to segue that into a conversation about when freedom goes too far, when we talk about free speech, what's too much? Who can't I say a joke about, right? So I want to ask everybody, like, what's too far? What do you consider off limits? If you listen to a comedian, what could he or she possibly say when you say, you know what, I'm leaving. I ain't finna listen to this shit. Nothing, right? Nothing. Well, for her. What about you, bro?
I mean, it's a comedian. Comedians should have the right to say anything they want to if they can make it funny. You know what I mean?
It's funny. Comedians are funny because they're very honest and they say shit that we think we only think. You know what I'm saying?
The great ones do that.
They bring that shit out, and that's what makes it funny.
Yes, definitely.
My boy Wayne Richards said he said that the stand-up was a classic. He said it's hilarious, and he really normally doesn't like his stand-up shows. I've always loved Dave Chappelle's stand-up. I've always thought Dave Chappelle was one of the funniest cats out there. But this one, you can feel a different energy with it when you watch it. With all the things that's going on in this country, you feel a different energy with the way he's delivering. And the whole message is you don't get to tell me how to think or what to say.
And they show
I say what I want to say.
Yeah.
He even does it like extras at the end where he just does a Q&A with the crowd. And what I really love is he stamped it with X-Clan and PXO saying this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. Sissy. If you ain't my age, you don't know what that means.
Real talk.
So what did you think about the Chappelle? I mean,
I didn't see it.
Well, first of all, I misspoke. What's too far for you? What shouldn't a comedian say, or like what offends you?
I don't. There's a such thing as a poetic license.
Okay.
Right. And we give it to songwriters, we give it to playwrights, and we give it to. And I believe it's applicable to comedians, right? And it's a joke.
Right.
These are jokes. And so if there was ever a comedian that was, even if he was making racial jokes, and it was something that I didn't like, you know what I did? Just fucking turn the channel. Right. I don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't think there's anything, especially in the context of jokes and being able to use your creative license and your imagination. I think that toughen up. So
you sitting in the crowd with a white comedian who does a joke about the middle passage, right?
I get up and walk out.
Okay, that's totally the answer.
I get up and walk out.
So, and do this on the way out.
Yeah.
And we say, but it's just jokes, Jason.
And then I might go on social media and blast your motherfucking ass. Okay. But I'm not going. Here's what I'm not going to disrupt your show. Right. I'm not going to try to hinder your ability to make money and earn a living because you're a comedian.
Yeah, do your thing. Right. Say what you want to say.
That's it.
That's
you know.
For me. Hey, I do want to say this too from Jason Take Over.
I ain't taking over. What do you
Stop vaping. Stop vaping. It is damaging people's lungs.
That's what they say.
Be careful how you accept some answer to a problem that's in essence a problem itself. It's like most of the medicine they give you for the high blood pressure is worse than the actual high blood pressure. Like most of the
side effects.
Right. It's like you may experience bleeding from your balls. Your nipples might fall off. Your eyelids might go.
Ain't no leakage and shit.
Never had that, right? So, I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Y'all do what y'all do, man. Deeper and deeper, man. What's going on?
I got something. Well, listen, I'm just at the end of the show, I decided I like to do something called Little Wisdoms, right? And these may be something that my granddad, I ain't claiming to write off. My granddaddy said it. My mama might have told me. Maybe I just heard something profound that somebody said and it stuck with me. But tonight I'd like to leave you with this. Don't waste your time.
We ain't at the end.
Oh, are we not?
No, I just want to try to get it.
Well, I won't wait till the end.
Right, okay. No, don't bust it. Don't give it up.
Right. Okay.
You're going to be asleep by the end of the show.
Well, I thought it was the end.
Right. No, I just wanted, because I see you got a lot of stuff, and I know my brother always got his thing.
No, yeah.
And I want to make sure that the sister gets
everybody has some. Yeah,
right, so that's why I just kind of, because everybody
turn
like,
back to the page.
Too goddamn
but this is true.
It's okay. Yeah, boy.
But you talk well, right?
So I'm trying to come back. Friends like these, right? No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So, go ahead. Anybody got anything?
Not yet.
No,
it's on you, bro.
So I'm still going to say, well, I must continue what I was saying. Don't waste your time listening to somebody who aggressively tries to tell you a better way to do some shit that they've never done.
Okay.
Or can't do. Listen. I don't take advice from people that ain't willing to take mine. Fuck you.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like your single girlfriend always give the girl with a man advice. Girl, what you should do? You ain't got no man. Shut up. Right? I had one in 5th grade. We 60. Stop it.
Wait, or is the thing, and I might be guilty of this, or it's the real fat person, right? That's trying to tell you how to lose weight. Well, you know what you need to do is
stop eating pigs. See how I slimmed up?
When you're right, this is what I do.
My thighs don't rub together as much as they used to.
Well, the thoughts and views expressed on this show
are solely those of the motherfucker who said it. No one to be mad.
They're trying to save your neck. What if their neck not fat? What if yours is? Like, what if it's pork? That's I'm just saying.
Hey, she threw pork in there, right?
I'm saying, was you trying to help?
Smile with me, Miss Eileen. I'm just saying.
No, I totally get that. You know, it's like brothers who don't got no car know everything about cars.
Right.
Like, yeah, you will pull up in your say, man, what you should do is go get this, put this, and do this, man. Right. You're like, bruh, I just dropped you off. You ain't what you say, a raggedy ride.
A raggedy ride? Yeah, it's better than a dressed up walk every time.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yes. That's some more little wisdom, right?
And I asked this question about like what offends you and stuff like that. And I felt like the conversation we had about sex. If you missed it, you can go back and watch it. But I think it's time for us to really, we need to tell or define what's too much, what's offensive to us. Now, I think there's a such thing as respect for the situation, right? Like, so in certain situations, it's not cool for you to say certain things, but I believe you should be allowed to say what you want to say eventually. But we're talking about censorship in this country. So you talk about people who are coming after Chappelle. If you shut down Chappelle, don't think they ain't coming after your ass next, right?
Mm-hmm. And
when you get too righteous.
And the one motherfucker that need to be shut down is the orange tweeting motherfucker. Right. He the motherfucker that need to be shut down and banned.
Ain't no shut down. You know, some of what Chappelle said serving people because there were hot, like he talked about abortion and pro-choice. He talked about molestation and sexual harassment. He talked about
and a lot of it, I mean, it wasn't no bad shit that he was saying.
It was just so true that when he
talked about abortion and he was talking about the pro-choice thing, you know, he said, if you got a dick, shut the fuck up.
Right. He did. That's what
you ain't got nothing to do with it.
You have nothing to do with it. It's a woman's decision.
You know what I'm saying?
But he said, if you got the right to kill it, I got the right to walk away from it.
Right. And then that was the joke part. You know what I'm saying? And then that was the joke part.
Right. I should have to pay for it then.
So some of his punchlines was edgy, you know what I'm saying? But they punchlines.
I thought the most profound thing he said was, when he was on the Chappelle show, he got called into the office or whatever the censorship arm of Comedy Central is, and they said, well, you can't say fag on the air. And he said at first, I didn't really think I'd done it wrong. So I said, that's cool. Okay. I didn't even know that was wrong. Then he said he got to the door and he stopped and he said, but wait a minute. Y'all cool with me saying nigga all the time on the show, but I can't say fag. And he said that the lady told him, but you're not gay. And he said, well, I'm not a nigger either. Right. So, you know, it's that kind of thing.
Truth bomb right
there. Right. And you hear it and you say,
hey, remember Eddie Murphy used to have that? Make you say,
That's our shit. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful with censorship because when you sick the dogs on somebody else, eventually the dogs will be sick on you. I think we should. The main thing is if you don't want to hear what I'm saying, don't listen to it, right? Don't watch it, don't support it, don't partake in it. And you know, going on by people who you can identify with.
But don't it always get to be, you know, too coincidental to be coincidence?
A lot of times
it's always the same groups or the same people talking about the same subjects that get censored versus the ones that can say anything they want and they don't.
I believe political correctness has hurt us to a point in society.
Absolutely, it's hurt.
Now we can't actually tell people the truth about stuff. Like everybody on the team get a trophy now. Some of y'all suck. You should try to be a plumber instead of like a baseball or football or basketball player. And I think political correctness kind of you know sets that off.
Political correctness equals conformity.
Okay.
It's about you conforming.
Okay.
Get in line.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Y'all got to tell me how y'all feel about it. It was on my mind to talk about censorship tonight because we talk about Black people being able to write their own narratives and stuff like that. And it's easy because you got to understand anybody who's ever preached Black liberation or Black solidarity has been ostracized and criminalized.
Man,
like they made that like bad language. So all of a sudden now Farrakhan's banned from social media, right? Because he's anti-Semitic, right? Or you look at the COINTELPRO movement when Gallagher Hoover said that he didn't want a Black Messiah, right? Any Black, even now the way they classify Black. And
went about doing away with any motherfucker that might be.
You know what? Describe that. You know, I think we need to get to a point where anybody can say whatever the fuck is on their mind.
Okay.
And not get so sensitive about this shit. Because we all got the right to say and feel the way we feel and to think the way we think. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but we got the right. You know what I'm saying?
And it's okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, because I keep doing that to you. I'm sorry.
Because you know, ultimately.
I'm sorry.
ultimately, you know, damn, I done lost my
I'm
track
just
of thought.
piggyback riding. I'm sorry.
Well, come on, piggyback.
I just kind of feel like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I mean, if people are more open-minded, maybe you still can understand or even learn something. It may sound wrong because you think it's all about just your perception. Sometimes a different perception is very beneficial. People don't
depending on what they're trying to talk you into doing different.
I mean, but if
Come on,
like me, I'm stern.
Okay.
Like if my mind is made up about something, you not changing it. I don't care what you do. You can go and buy me a Rolls Royce. It doesn't matter. If my mind, that's just what it is. But it's okay to listen. Listen ain't gonna hurt nobody. Okay. So why are people so emotional?
Right. You know, my mother always told me. My mother always told me. She said, if you're embarrassed about something, don't do it.
Shouldn't be doing it.
You know what I'm saying? So what? So now somebody gonna be out there and they talking about the shit I'm doing. The only reason I'm offended is because I feel like I shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think we ought to be out here saying whatever the fuck is on our mind. I don't care who you talking about. I mean, you ain't got to put names on it, but it's different genders of people in different parts of society.
So should we not shame porn stars because they basically just said, I'm not ashamed to do this, and I don't care if the world.
I don't think we should shame.
I think that we need porn stars. I think we need pornography for people who like to masturbate, people who like to watch it, people who like to learn how to fuck.
That's what's up.
And that's just the truth. But we need a lot of people for different reasons that everybody's not going to agree with it. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, you know, the woman is a complicated piece of machinery, so I'd say some brothers might need that's like an infomercial for some.
Let me tell you, that's a bad reference source for you to go to try to learn how to.
I mean, but
you know, hey, look, hey, check this out, right? Hey,
I agree with what you're saying. I just don't. Don't think it's realistic.
Let me expound on the. Let me expound on the spiritual aspect of what you just said, right? Let me expound on the spiritual aspect. You know, I think they're needed. I could see some truth into that. You know what I mean? Because see, like, it may take a man to be sexually stimulated, right, by watching this type of shit for his wife or whatever. Now, remember what I told you, God is creation. If this gonna help you get to that point, you know what I mean, where you can get with your wife and actually create. You
gotta go watch Big Booty Black Sluts.
You know what I mean? It could be good.
That's the name of the movie, right? Big Titty Hoes Part 12. You need to watch that for your relationship. And you know what? That's the best thing. If your girl say, I looked at your iPad and you know what I found on there? And all this, you say, baby, that's for you though. I'm trying to make a better way to satisfy you.
Yeah, anybody that's worked for us, let us know.
Chime on in. Let's see what happens.
But I digress a little bit because we talked about the groups, and the fact of the matter is like we special people. Like we individually, we learn how to do some special shit, some creative shit. But the fact of the matter, it doesn't really work if you put all that creative individuality into a system that's still going to end up the same way, right? Okay. And so which at the end of the day, what you have now is gays and Jews right now. They cannot be criticized. They cannot be ridiculed. They cannot be. Like, you will lose your career. You will lose your show. You will lose your job. You will lose your position.
But they do it to us on the fucking news.
But this is what I'm saying. So here's the thing. So what's different about Jews and gays? Because first of all, it's just been acceptable to be gay in the last 10 years, 15 years, right? So what's different in Jews? You know, why has it always been? See, that's the whole thing they got going with Farrakhan, is because they're anti-Semitic. So we supposed to feel some way about somebody who don't like Jews, but we supposed to just blindly look past somebody who don't like black people. Because we got many examples of that. So to all the motherfucking Jews, and I know, listen, fuck you. Like, you're not no more special than any other motherfucking group. Fuck you. And half of you motherfuckers is fake. The Palestine says you left Israel black and you came back white. That's why you'll never have no peace. You corrupt motherfuckers.
The opinions expressed on our radio
solely those
of the motherfucker that said it. know who to be mad at, and I don't disagree or agree. I just want people to know somebody's watching say, I can't believe it said that shit. Holla at the man. He got to talk to teacher, let's learn. He got his own page.
And the motherfucker gonna be coming to Kev. You get rid of that motherfucker, man.
Right. First of all, you got to write me a check for me to get rid of anybody. You know what I mean? And ain't nobody doing that right now, so the revolution will be live on Facebook.
All I'm just saying is if the shit is untrue, then tell me how it's untrue. If it's true, shut the fuck up.
Okay, then. Well, that's one way to leave. What was you finna say, Sister Key? I thought you was finna drop something in there.
I was gonna say something, but
she knows some nice Jewish people, right?
No, I'm not even thinking about the fact that the Jews. It's just the whole
aggressive.
No, he was talking about this gay shit. Okay, this gay shit is so promoted everywhere. It even starts with the cross that people wear around their neck. And I don't be wanting to really touch that because so many people I know and I love that's walking around with crosses around their neck and they don't even understand that means two dicks. I mean, you have to really, and that's the truth.
Please expound on that.
The difference between the ankh is the cross is two penises and it means death. The ankh is life and it means reproduction. And a lot of people don't know, right? And people don't understand that that's like the circle of life. That's how we reproduce.
Right.
They are trying to stop Black people from reproducing. They can't reproduce like that. They know that eventually the sun is gonna burn them and melt them away. I love some white people. Don't get me wrong, and I hate that they have to go through that, but that's their culture. Black people, on the other hand, once they become aligned, they will be saved from that also. It's it's so much.
Homosexuality we're talking about.
But sexuality plays a big part. That's why they're trying to take masculinity from Black men, because they don't want Black men to be in love with the Black woman to keep reproducing Black people. They're trying to take Black people away.
The real Trinity.
And that was a whole part of Christianity when they first took it. You know what I'm saying? When they first took the Christianity. You know, you got to remember that the people who created it was gay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, it's part of the culture.
No, they were.
Look at the Jews. They were molesting little boys. They got little boy
statues sucking dick.
They still do.
You know what I'm saying? It was in the culture.
I feel like we the Jews.
That's also why they don't get in trouble. That's also why
we are.
Hey, that's also why we don't hear about them getting in trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They stole.
Ain't that money though?
Like
that's big money, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, like I said, man,
listen. So could I say that's not that's not the power of attraction? You're speaking some truth right there. But yeah, okay. So
that don't mean I don't know the truth.
No, but there's a balance, right? Okay.
So when we start to talk about, once again, it comes all the way back to my original narrative that everything they told you was a lie. I don't question the existence of God. I don't. I question the way they taught it to us.
Absolutely.
I question the things that they told us to do in order for us to get to heaven when they didn't abide by any of those rules.
They were never worried about thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet, not murder. They
hide the fact that you can experience heaven here on earth.
Do y'all know who Reverend Ike is?
Yeah, from the 70s, the prosperity preacher.
Listen to him. If y'all have not
he speaks
listened to this man, when I
he said the prosperity preacher.
That's what it was. That's what his ministry was.
Let me tell you something. I'm rocking with him. If he was still alive or still around, I will be going to his church. Okay. Period.
I like Damon Wayans' impression of him on The Living Color when he would do, and Jim Carrey would do the white pastor, and they would have to go to court. Some funny shit. I'm gonna put it in the People's News Network. My brother Wayne Richards is having a good time. He said, "Thank you." Ooh, she said it. 2 dicks, facts. They don't want the woman. He agreed with that.
They exclude the woman out there.
He said Jason was spitting facts. He said the truth hurts. So shy. Wayne Richards is my partner.
Hey,
that's the reason why social media. That's the reason why social media they promote. That's why the music industry promote more hate towards for Black men to shit on Black women, because that's another form of them
birth
not
control.
Wanting to love us and not wanting to build and multiply.
That's why they let this out in the music industry like that.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because
the men Black men shitting on the Black women, Black women shitting on the Black men.
Where we can continuously say, bitch this, hoe that, nigga this, kill this nigga, shoot this nigga. As soon as you say, kill that fag, your career's over.
And say something about a Jew. right? You know what I'm saying? So listen, so why is that? And what will we do to change that shit, right? Because that's bullshit.
And that's why I always laugh in the mornings. And we'll get to you if we can find an answer to that question, because that's a very profound question.
Yes.
But I'm always riding to work
based.
in the morning, listening to the Breakfast Club, and I hear, I'm no Breakfast Club hater, first of all, because I totally understand it. But I'm hearing them have a conversation with somebody about social justice, or a very deep conversation about, with a politician, and then the song that comes on is like, shoot the nigga in the head, bang, bang, bang. I got more money than you. Fuck the bitch.
Fuck the bitch.
Yeah, right. So then I'm like, well, you kind of lost the point when you do it like that. Once again, I question why, as a music industry, we can release all of the degrading songs about black women that we want. We can release all of the degrading songs towards black men and say, fuck these niggas, and I'll bust one of you niggas.
Kill them.
But if I say, I'm going to shoot the next Jew that I see, because when Q said, because you let a Jew mess up my crew, shit went on fire. They got, when Professor Griff
and listen what he said
that about the Jewish people, Chuck D had to kick him out of public enemy.
He had to lead it.
You know what I'm saying? So these are questions we have to ask ourselves, man. Once again, we get led astray, and we always have to let them define to us what's right.
Farrakhan is right about you.
Well, I haven't done the research.
Farrakhan said is right about you.
I haven't done the research.
You know what's crazy? Because I remember a long time ago, because for one, y'all know I don't watch TV.
Okay.
But I remember watching TV some years ago. And it was when Kendrick Lamar was just like, I guess, fresh out or whatever, and he was rapping. And it was a whole audience full of Caucasians, like, bobbing their head to a shit. Like, they nosy than a motherfucker.
Right.
I remember that show.
The Bobby on that Black Israelite shit.
Listen, and they will make you feel like shit, we got your back, and they're gonna get you.
Hey, I remember that. I remember that show.
You gonna have a nigga
talking. Hey, in that show, he was talking about how white people don't like me. Right. I know you don't like me and all that. You know what I mean? He went off.
See, I'm cool with
that. And they was sitting there bobbing their head.
I'm cool with it. I'm telling you, I'm at the. I can tell why
he went in. He went in.
I'm cool with your racism. I'm cool with it. Just keep it over there away from me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know, first of all, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to change it.
Right.
Listen, if you black and you waiting on the news to come on one night and they're going to say, in national news, white people collectively would like to apologize to people of color and indigenous people
and racism
all
is
over the
over.
world. We are sorry. We have mistreated you. We have murdered you. We have misplaced you. Everywhere we went, we either did one of two things. We either fucked you or we killed you.
Right.
We're sorry.
Or both.
Not
necessarily in that order.
Hey, they'll vacuum sand on the beach for that happen.
What does a jealous person do? When you are uncontrollably jealous of something.
Right.
Black people are very powerful. We dominate every fucking thing. When I tell you we can do anything better than any fucking culture that we put our mind to, I have seen it my whole entire life. What would a jealous person do of somebody that is uncontrollably talented and strong and that is original? You understand what I'm trying to say? And that is here, and you can't fucking get rid of me.
And they take control of it, because there's one thing that black people do not do, and that's unite.
That's right.
Okay.
Other than that, everything you said was true. We lead. They copy our walk, talk, handshake, hairstyles, whatever we do, we make it cool.
They even like the way we cuss, because they like to hear us say motherfucker.
For sure.
But they love that. Say motherfucker.
But listen, and this right here, they love that. It's really hard for people to understand exactly my perspective of why the law of attraction is a very powerful thing, because at the end of the day, you are what the fuck you eat. When you eat certain things, it is a toxin. It distracts you. It has you fucked up. It has you your mood fucked up, your concentration. You can't think clearly. So how can you be receptive of truth or even figure out how to arise from that type of shit? Right. People are so angry that they don't understand. That's what you're putting out into this world. You're putting out hate. You're putting out, I hate these motherfuckers doing this and doing that. And the reason why that's all you see is because that's what you're putting out.
And I don't think you should, I wouldn't encourage anybody to process it like that, because it takes a lot of energy to hate something, because you have to be focused on it and you have to give it energy. which takes away your focus from something else. I think you have to deal with something. You got to come to terms with it. That's why I say black people just need to come to terms with the fact that not all, but most white people, see, because there's also some white people who are able to do something in this country that we can't do. They can seclude themselves, right? So you go to northern Wisconsin, right? And this state is about what? 8% black, and about
Janesville.
85% of those people live in southeastern Wisconsin.
Don't represent
So,
Janesville.
KKK.
but in North Dakota, in Minnesota, in Montana, in these states, you can go to certain communities where it's, or even out east, they don't have to ever even deal with us. They can raise their children in their lily white community and never even give us a thought. They have that ability. There's no place in this country that I can go as a black man and just live amongst my people and we're raised off our own cultural norms. We can't do it. But they do it all the time.
No, wait. Here's the thing.
When we do it, it's a problem.
Well, here, I want to ask about that. Because, I want to ask about that because let me tell you, there's a place in Ghana right now, right? That's offering for African Americans, offering for every people from the Caribbean, to come on back home. Now, wait, Ghana. So you want to talk about being able to go, because most black people that I talk about going back to Ghana, be hell no.
I want to go.
Well, we built this motherfucker. Why would we leave now?
But you know also
because we built that motherfucker too.
Yeah,
well, we got a little bit more. My family got a little bit more.
I say we will leave now because we don't like how shit's going. You hear me? I say we leave now because we don't like how shit's going here. You know what I mean?
They ain't be prepared
I'm saying
for how things are gonna go. When they start putting motherfuckers in the concentration camps and shit like that,
like me personally,
Jason, bring them all back.
Like me personally, I want to have a place out there, and I want to have a place here. You know what I'm saying? I like to do both. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Trump is going to allow you to do that, to be citizens of both.
Well, I don't have to be citizen. You don't got to be a citizen to be there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
I'm
not.
I don't think you do.
I believe black people.
I could be wrong. I ain't doing research.
This one thing where I don't know.
Right. But it sounds good.
I believe black people are the only race or cultural group that was created by the United States of America. And I believe we put far too much work in this country. You don't tell me to go back to Africa. I ain't going no goddamn where. And you gonna do right by me here because you owe me.
But and when I say I want to go, I ain't saying I want to go because they're telling us we should go back. You know what I mean? I just think that
I want my money.
I just think that would be dope, and we can still get the money.
Absolutely, but I think if you're giving credit to white people in America for creating who we are, I think that's taking a lot of credit away from God.
No, I'm not saying white people created this. I said the Union of America from black people.
I'm just saying because
God. Hold on. I'm not saying white people create. That's not what I said. I didn't say white people created this. I said America because the result of this country, the stripping of a people from Africa, the diaspora, is a people who don't know where they came from. You mixed them up. You got us over here. You put you in our bloodline. We don't even know. You can send your DNA off, and he can come back and say whatever. Who knows if it's some dude like making fortune cookies? I don't know. What I'm saying is the black man in America is unique from everybody else because he doesn't really know where he comes from. That's created by the the establishment of this. I'm not giving white people credit saying, look, I just made a black person. Because you don't make black people. You kidnap them from their country and then you bring them somewhere. And it's just like if your last name Johnson and I take you to Mars and I spread y'all out all over Mars.
It's easier to say. It's easier to say they created the mind state of the black man here.
The mindset of black people. You can say that. You possibly could.
I think that's more accurate because again, just because you don't know who you are, don't change.
That's like saying they discovered America. You know what I'm saying?
If you're a sock, you don't know you're a shot.
Did they discover it?
But no, just because you don't know who you are, don't change who you are. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying?
It's you're still at a point where I'm going through what I'm going through now, and what do I do next?
And because you don't know, it's only
my answer is not leave.
Don't change.
My own individual answer is not to leave. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree.
No, that's your answer, and that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, I respect that.
That's my answer. So somebody else might say, brother, you got it wrong.
No,
see, you have to understand.
But if you want to know how to go and be and bring and not have to deal with the other people and be able to be like white people, move to Janesville and not have it, then
there you go again.
That's gonna be one place you're gonna be able to do that. Yes, ma'am.
Janesville, don't talk about that. I just told you.
For me, it was my experience where I found out that it was some skinheads and some motherfucking Aryan Nation ass motherfucking who wanted to lynch black people, and they was all congregating in James.
I thought that was below the headquarters.
There's some there too,
but you know they like
Twin City. Headquarters are one of them.
Janesville and Beloit is like Twin City.
Right. You know so Wisconsin, we put
walk to Janesville. You can be in Beloit and walk to Janesville.
I've never been to Beloit or Janesville.
Why do y'all
probably smart.
Why do y'all believe this is the most racist state or whatever?
Why do we believe it?
Statistical.
Yeah. Well,
it's statistical. It's proven. It's statistical.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why do you think? You know what? It does get cold here, and this is where they're from.
Who? Huh?
The cold.
Oh, I see what she's saying.
Yep.
I think she's saying like she's really making a statement, not a question. You know what I mean? It's more like, okay, they like the cold. You know, Wisconsin. We up here in the cold area in the climate. Yeah,
I thought you're saying cold.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Cold.
Right.
As in that's what they're from. They're
from the cold. We in the north. And they come to Wisconsin.
But it's colder in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And they have a much more tolerant, right? You know what I'm saying, as far as their racial and whatnot. And my thing was I've always attributed to, because the settlers, the people that migrated, the white people that started Minneapolis were French, right? And the white people that we have here that established this place were German. So you see they had a different mindset. That's what I've always attributed.
I thought we got here by the Great Migration. I thought this is a place where we actually left because we left the South. We felt like at one point we got to get the fuck out the South.
We talking about white
I know, but she's saying, why do we think it's racist here? And I'm saying because we came here last. This is actually the last
white
stop
people control it.
on the Great Migration. Milwaukee is the last stop. They already had a power structure set up here because this was baby Germany. Like you said, this is where most Germans live. And they had established this. We kind of came in here and kind of elbowed our way.
New Berlin is New Berlin.
From 1950, from 1940 to 1960, the black population in Milwaukee triples. So it goes from something like 10,000 people to like almost 100,000.
White people still govern.
Can I just say this, that what I'm saying in so many words is that weather has a huge part on us. You understand what I'm trying to say? Black people are children of the sun. White people are
no. Let me tell you,
this is fact.
This is facts, and this is true. But even in Africa, the 20% white rule the 80% black. Even in in the continent of Africa right now, 20% white. That's why black people are trying to get their land back.
So they about to melt.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying. So when we talking about weather, I agree.
They out there killing themselves.
Even in the blackest part, you still have white people ruling.
Well, you got white people that really believe in the back of their mind that they're a god. You know what I'm saying?
And they are the gods of this world. They control everything.
They're not my God.
Yes, sir. They are gods of this world.
You talking about Thor
in the United States type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as white supremacy type shit. They run in system.
People who praise them. And
let me tell you, God is like a extreme. You know what I'm saying? Let's call them. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's the thing.
I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Like they run the shit here.
They have a position.
If you know the definition of the word, even in your Bible, it doesn't talk about God. It talk about gods. Gods is plural. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
That's why I said Thor in there.
Absolutely. And they got the Thursday. The reason that you have a Thursday is because of the god Thor.
Right?
Yeah. The reason you say amen at the end of the prayer is another God named Amen, right? So understand what the gods are.
So as you can tell, because actually
our man really isn't a God. Our man is an aspect of us.
Our man is a God. Our man is a God that was worshipped. We was taught that it was a God.
So go back and find it. It's actually 9:46, which means we are approaching damn near again a show that goes to almost 2 hours, which I have no problem with. But this is why I call the show deeper.
Yes.
Because when all four of us get together, you get this kind of synergy that creates these discussions that people can either agree with or disagree with, either way it goes, you have the right to say whatever it is that you want to say. I want to say for people listening, please don't accept anything I say as the absolute
Research
truth.
it.
Like, right, my method now is to question the question and to question the answer and who gave you the answer.
Yep.
Question.
Because for too long, our acceptance of everything they told us is what's gotten us in this position. Don't get it twisted.
You got to research the author.
We have a lot of issues, but one of our biggest issues is because we never really got our own understanding of anything. We accepted, and part of that is the language. Because when you come here and you don't know English and you speak your tribal dialect or whatever it was you spoke over there, and now you got to learn English, you don't even know the ins and outs, and they can find a way to like degrade you and oppress you. Like white people like to talk above your head, right? But they'll say something to you.
Perfect example.
And I've seen a lot of brothers who don't know what they're really saying, so they just nod and smile. And I'm like, you just dissed the shit out of you, bro.
A perfect example is a law dictionary.
Okay.
A law dictionary is a dictionary full of words that we know and we use very well, and has a totally different meaning in court.
Like good morning.
Right.
I don't even say good morning anymore.
Grand rising, greetings. Right? Why are you
Grand
mourning?
rising, rise and shine.
Yes. Why are you mourning, and why are we celebrating mourning?
Right. What up, fool?
So
it's Outlaw Radio deeper, man. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to just kind of, because Jason had the thing he wanted to do at the end.
I did
it already.
I did it already. So yeah, love.
But I did want to say there will be no show Saturday night because I will not be in town. So we won't be back until Wednesday. So I thought it was
Jonesing.
I'll be all right.
Jonesing.
That's why I thought it was important for everybody to kind of get to pop their P's tonight and dot their I's and cross their T's. And that's what sometimes you have to have like varied perspectives. What bothers me most is that if you the smartest dude in the room, you in the wrong room. And no one person knows everything. And if they tell you that they know everything, that's how you know that they don't know everything and they are liars. Because it's impossible for you to know everything. When I say deeper, I mean just get some understanding. Therefore, when you get in a discussion, you can at least reinforce your opinion or your perspective.
Hello, somebody.
Just don't say something and then when somebody kind of shoot at you, well, fuck you then.
Right.
That shows me you don't really know what you're talking about. Right.
Right.
At least be able to say, well, brother, from my perspective, this is what my understanding. You meet some people say, well, your perspective is wrong, nigga. That's how conversation goes.
Yes,
But I just want black people to start understanding we don't have to believe everything that they tell us to believe in regards to ourselves, in regards to our religion or our spirituality.
Yes.
And if we want to define our sexuality one way, they don't have the right to tell us that either. That's what I'm saying. Black people now saying they want to be gay. I'm saying as long as you real gay, like you a real gay dude, don't be straight until you was 12 and you watched a couple movies and you said, I'm one food. That's me. That's who I am. That's the gayest movie I could think of.
Right? I love that movie though.
It's super gay though.
Like
it had Wesley.
If you're gonna call yourself gay, understand that that's not procreation.
Okay.
So you can't say you.
Well, gay couples have kids.
You can no, they don't. They adopt kids. No, they don't.
They do sometimes.
You can't say
you be somebody kids in the car with them.
Stop.
If you can't stick a plug into a socket and you get light, right? Could you rub two sockets together and get light?
No.
All right then.
You get rug burn.
Period.
It don't work.
This shit gets worse and worse.
You can't create.
No, but you can't say you for the creator and you're not for creation.
You need the masculine and feminine aspect.
So there's no spirituality for homosexuals.
Of anything.
No, it's incorrect. You got the right to be wrong.
No.
Right. So there's no spirituality for gay people at all.
But I mean, I think personally, I think they could do it.
What kind of spirituality you talking about?
I mean, you know what I'm saying. But I will say this. They will as they keep studying, as they keep searching, as they keep growing, they're gonna grow to a point where they're gonna see how they're gonna see and they're gonna understand how it's wrong.
You think that's gonna happen?
And I ain't saying that it's gonna change.
If they learn it, if they're professional and their knowledge and their understanding. Because
see, you come to a point, like I just said, you need the masculine and feminine energy to create anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Usually the feminine is the creative part.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's an aspect of your spirit called Het Haru. You know what I'm saying? Which is she's a feminine energy, a feminine, you know what I'm saying, aspect of you, where she's in charge or it's in charge of. Like I said,
I heard you.
It's in charge of creativity. You know what I mean? But it's a feminine energy, a feminine aspect that we have in ourselves. You know, so and there's also a male counterpart to it.
Can't omit it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you need the masculine and feminine energy to create anything. Like she said, you can't get two sockets and create electricity.
Absolutely. Right. There's laws to the shit, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Real
Exactly.
Yeah.
My sister, deeper. What's the deepest thing you can offer to the people after all we done said and all the chin boogie and lip service we done tonight? If you had to hand these people a jewel on something that's deep, what would you say to them?
I feel like I feel like I said it.
Hey,
I feel like I said it when I just said something about that socket.
Okay.
That was hard.
It was
hard.
That was deep.
Mathematical too.
And to be honest, and that too. And to be honest, that conversation that you and Kamar had about on the outside looking in, I really hate I wasn't there.
Okay.
Because that is something that's so powerful. It's not even funny. Just the topic itself is something that's just like, man, like people should want to. At the end of the day, I feel like naturally, if we're not trying to figure out how to be natural, like the birds, like the trees, like the animals, they live life accordingly to nature. And I feel like when we were brought into this world, we were brought into this world with truth. The thing is, a lot of people don't know how to seek and get that truth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the answers are within us. We have all the answers. So that's when you said, don't nobody know everything. That's a goddamn lie.
Ooh, okay.
We all know everything. But we gotta fit. And this is true because we were all born with the answers within. That's why we have intuition.
Okay.
That voice that we hear is a voice that guides us through life. You understand what I'm trying to say? That voice that we know.
I see where you headed.
Let me tell you something. If you're eating bullshit for 25 years, eventually in the back of your mind, you're gonna hear something tell yourself, I know goddamn well I'm gonna have some health issues after a while because you know you're not supposed to be eating that because it's not beneficial to your body. Your body needs things that's gonna be beneficial to it in order for it to work properly.
Okay.
So if you can't eat the things that are beneficial to your body, eventually your body's gonna tear down. It's gonna get sick. So instead of us listening to that voice, we were programmed to call the doctor, to call another person to ask them what the hell is going on when we already know what's going on.
I would say to that, you are either the smartest person in the room or the dumbest person in the room, depending on where you're standing at. Because you can be very, very informed about one set of circumstances and one situation and one kind of state of being, and then go to another place and not even know what the hell is going on. And I say that like, if you're from New York, you're considered, I'm from up north, I'm from the big city, I'm smart, I'm street smart, I know how to survive. And then you go down south where the culture is totally different and you don't know shit, you're the dumbest person on the block. Now, if you knew everything, you'd be able to go anywhere and know everything right away. So that was the reason why I said that. On a spiritual level, you might have some box in your chest or your back that once you get the right spirituality, you open it, all of a sudden your head get bigger and you know every goddamn thing. But I have never met an individual. I met some people who think they know everything, but even that person eventually gets shown that you don't know everything. But like I said, it's okay to have a different perspective.
Life is about repeating or evolving. We go through things in life because we are here to learn the lesson of living. At the end of the day, you know, we're going to keep repeating the same shit. We're going to keep going through the same thing in different formats until we evolve and learn from what it is that we're going through or that nature is taking us through. But if everything around us is living according to nature in a natural form, why do we feel just because we're mankind that it's not the same for us? We were born. A lot of things as babies, we weren't taught to do. We naturally knew that shit already.
Some shit you was taught to do too, though.
A lot of things we were taught
as a child. What's the scripture? When I was a child,
I did
whatever the scripture is.
I put away
childish things. Yes. What are some things that my kids?
Y'all forget.
I absolutely had to teach them some things. That's what my role as a parent is. Some of it I guided that natural energy so that they would learn it on their own, like hot and cold. But it's certain things that I did have to teach them, or they wouldn't have knew the difference between.
Teach.
Like when I say to my son, "Listen, boy, you got to operate with some integrity and be accountable and have accountability." And when I show him those situations, he said, "Now I know what Daddy was talking about."
But can I say something though?
Go ahead.
In order for him to say, "Now I know what Daddy's talking about," he had to experience something within himself first in order to receive what you taught him.
He had to listen to what the hell I was telling him and get his shit together.
It didn't start making sense to him until he was able to honestly say he experienced.
But when he got to that situation, he didn't know what the hell was going on. That's why he came to me, or that's why I stepped in and corrected him.
This is true. Like, you already know.
I'm explaining masculinity to my son right now. We're going through this thing where he's 13. And there's some lessons that naturally he won't know unless a man tells him and shows him. Right. And that's my role as a father to say, hold on, boy, let me tell you about your biology.
Right.
Let me tell you what happened when you're in math class sometimes. Been there, done that.
Right.
Know what it's like, know how I feel. I ain't getting up to answer shit. I ain't getting up to go do no problem on the board. I'm about to tip this table over and I can't control it. And that's something a young man goes through. And he says, okay, well, I see this, but I don't know what the hell. Somebody needs to explain this to me. When you go through life and you don't get direction, this is why the absence of the Black father in the Black community is so detrimental to our children, because you need both parents because they both teach you things. The mother teach you about nurturing, because nobody takes care of you better when you're sick than your mama do. I don't give a damn what you say. Niggas get over polio fucking with their mother. If they just stay oh shit. Right. I had cancer last week. My mama gave me some castor oil.
Especially when Granny was alive.
Right. Big mama gonna make some shit. Some of that collard green juice.
If I could try to bridge the gap, because I think I understand kind of what both of y'all are saying, and I totally agree with you as far as, you know, when we are infants or whatever, and there are certain things that we have, abilities that we have that we are taught aren't possible. You know what I'm saying? And so we learn to not trust the instant. You know, so I get what she's saying. And even on when you talk about a higher consciousness or a collective consciousness, I think that's a level that can be achieved and reached. So I get that too.
I think that's our purpose on earth.
Absolutely. Your purpose on earth is to find your purpose on earth, right? You know what I mean? So I get that. And then I know what you're saying. There are some things that, you know, but those I think that are more on a social, right?
Well, I had to be taught to drive a car. I didn't know
drive a car. You had to be taught manners, how to say please and thank. These are survival, right? These are survival issues. This isn't anything that you would need in nature, but socially, you need these things to be successful. So I agree with both of you.
Right, I agree with them too.
So, what you got, brother Bull Medicine Man? Pop your peas, man, before we get out of here. Y'all talking about me with withdrawals.
Peace, y'all. Hey. Got this Nature's Nature herbs and supplements: burdock root, blue vervain, chaparral, sarsaparilla, dandelion root, and leaf.
Yes.
Make sure you get y'all detoxes in, man. We all need it. This gonna help you with weight loss. This gonna help you with thought clarity. I mean, it's all type of stuff these detoxes can help you with.
Like that?
Different. This detox here actually helps you with different blood issues. You know what I'm saying? So you may want to get in on this. You know what I'm saying? It's detox. Nature's Nature herbs and supplements. I got that vitality mix right there. You know, that's good for the male erection. Hey, look, the male erection.
That's actually a bullet.
It's a phallic symbol. It's a phallic symbol.
This is what a bullet looks like.
It's also
gun
good.
Cleaning kit. Look. It's a gun cleaning kit.
It's also,
there's all kind of lube and ointment and shit in there.
Right. Y'all gonna let me do my plug?
I'm sorry, man. Keep going, man.
Like I said, the vitality there is good for male vitality, for libido. It's good. It's good for women also, as far as, you know what I'm saying, the feeling of your orgasm, because it sends blood down there. So it helps you with that. It's also good for blood pressure because it's good for your blood flow.
What's that? Is that
then we also got that liver mix. Just happen to have a liver mix up here. The liver cleanse fibroid buster.
Hey,
like I said, liver cleanse fibroid buster. It works for both. It's gonna clean your liver and it's gonna help you bust down some tumors, fibroid tumors and shit like that. So you know what I mean. Make sure y'all get in on there on the Nature's Nature Herb Supplements page. Healthy Self Heal Thyself group on Facebook, or just look me up on Facebook and at Kamar Carter. And you got any questions? Shoot.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back next Wednesday with the Warrior Report. And we got
man.
We got guests. We got guests coming in. People have reached out to us. They want to be on the show. I know we had the technical difficulties in the beginning, and a lot of people jumped back over. I'm gonna do a better job of promoting the YouTube page so that y'all can get on there because YouTube is popping as well.
Instagram.
But don't think we don't appreciate the support. And I really appreciate everybody who chimed in on the comments and all that good stuff, man. It's okay. It's okay to be talented and be humble, right? Like, so we all know we possess certain talents. The problem is sometimes you get a little talent, you get a little cocky. I'm an artist, right? Like, so I give, right? So I appreciate when somebody appreciates my contribution, right? So I just want to give love to the Milltown. We say black people here ain't ready and we ain't on this level and that. And there's a lot of people who vibe with us. Wayne Richards is all the way in the Twin Cities. Man, I'm still trying to see if I can get to the Hall of Fame induction, Wayne. If I can get to that Hall of Fame induction, we're going to have a good time. Me and Wayne are both going into the Hall of Fame at our old college that we played ball.
That's what's happening, man. So, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wayne was my partner back then, and we did a lot of shit. So I got to get up to the Twin Cities to see him and all the rest of my brothers, man. So at the end of the day, it's okay for you to be you and do what you want to do. But, you know, just don't get none on nobody else.
Hey.
I really think the moral of the story here is yeah, you can do what you want, but are you doing what you should, right? It's like saying, I hope you get what you want, but I hope you want what you get, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime and in between time, man, just try to be a better person, man, because at the end of the day, the whole goal of this thing is to leave this earth in better shape when you leave it than it was when you found it.
Hello, somebody.
I see y'all Wednesday.
Peace.
Holla.
Peace.
Great show, people.